remember 2 years ago when Mr. Broussard was running for an office, we had him at our potluck. And he told us that he was going to do something like this. And you know, I think we have so many politicians who tell you what's going to happen if they get elected. He didn't get elected and he did it. So if he hadn't got elected, he might have did bigger things. So next time he runs for office, let's elect him and see what he will do.
Welcome to Oregon Voters Digest, the program that brings forward the social and political issues that are important to people living here in the Pacific Northwest. And now, your host, Bruce Broussard.
Welcome again to this segment of the Oregon Voters Digest. I'm Bruce Broussard, your host. Well, folks, we're here. It's here. Campaign is on here in the state of Oregon, here in Portland, Oregon. From a national perspective, we're going to set that aside, especially during our time. We've got some issues that we have to deal with here within our own state. I mean, we're going to, as the old saying goes, we're going to make Oregon great again. And we're going to start here in the Portland metropolitan area. We're going to naturally begin interviewing candidates that are running for office, whether it be city council, Multnomah County, just on and on and on. But primarily, we're going to spend our time here in this particular area, and then we're going to be bringing on the gubernatorial races and things of that nature, senatorial, whatever's necessary. But welcome, and like I said, and then what I thought I'd do right off the bat is that I thought I'd bring in another individual here who's very, very acquainted with the issues here in the local community, also state, but more specifically here in the Portland metropolitan area. As you know, it's in the county for that matter. The county is the largest county of the 36 here in the state of Oregon. And there are some major issues here, and actually it sort of involves also the city of Portland, Oregon, and we got some major issues here too: homelessness, housing, a lot of things. But anyway, I've got someone here that's going to be an asset and contribute, if you will, to the discussion, so that you can get a better feel of what the issues are and the kinds of leadership that we're in need of, and the leadership that are going to be running. It's very, very important. Okay, I've got Fred Stewart with me. How you doing, Fred?
Pretty good, Bruce. How are you doing?
Great. And you've seen Fred before. Fred, in fact, I was looking at Fred running for city council this time around for the city of Portland. But to my as far as I'm concerned, it's benefiting the Oregon Voters Digest because he's going to be running here. He's going to be interviewing all the issues that he would be talking to on the campaign trail. So we're just fortunate to have him here, and we're still encouraging him to run, if you will. Okay, and then the second half hour, we're going to maybe a candidate might come on, and we're just going to go on and interview that candidate when they come on the second half hour. We'll take a break and do that. It seems as though somebody just walked into the door. I mean, she's feisty as ever too, boy. She's working all the time. Sharon. Okay, so what we'll do now is that let's start off with some of the dates that I'm sure you're familiar with. March 8th. 2018 voters pamphlet filing deadline for Metro and Multnomah County candidates. That's gone by. March 30th, 2018 military and overseas ballots mailed. Okay, on April 24, 2018 voter registration deadline. So get that. Hey, if you want to vote, you want to get involved in this campaign, make sure you vote, not only in the campaign, but get out and vote. Okay, remember that date, April 24. And then on April 25, the ballots are mailed. The ballots are mailed. You're going to probably see all sorts of people knocking on your doors, trying to get that attention and whatever. But again, that's April 25th. The ballots will be mailed. And then May 15th is going to be Election Day. May 15th will be Election Day. Drop-off sites open at 8 p.m. All 36 county election officers in the state of Oregon open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Election Day. And then we'll get those results, and everybody will be looking at the tube. Okay. Fred, what do you think? What does this race look like today? What do you think about it?
Very interesting. Okay. We got something I like seeing. We got a lot more minorities running.
Okay.
We got a lot of people. There's quite a few of these people that would normally not run. Mm-hmm. I like that we've got some people who are beginning to step out. I hope the next go around, we have even more. You know, I'm always telling people, that want to contribute to their community instead of just sitting around and complaining. Get involved in somebody's campaign, or better yet, run themselves. Because, friends, I can assure you, the absolute best people in the market are not the people who are elected, and they're not the people who are running for office. We need as they say, a regime change in our choices. And there's a lot of very good people out there, very smart people, very experienced people, who just don't run. And a lot of them don't understand how important it is, especially with a sophisticated community like Portland, pragmatic community like Portland, that people with their skills run.
Well, the other thing too, what about the area itself? I mean, as far as the voters are concerned, I mean, our area has changed quite a bit. We got people moving in every day.
And it's going to change a lot more.
Oh my God. I mean, we've got development sprinkling out all over the place.
Development's slowing down, at least for residential.
Yeah.
I mean, Chloe Daly's done an excellent job at basically making it harder on every renter in Portland. As a matter of fact, I think she...
Why was that?
Well, all this rent control stuff, rent stabilization stuff,
Okay.
That alone hurt. But now we've got rising interest rates. Okay. And we've got higher costs for labor because it's so hard to get the skilled labor at an affordable price. I mean, they're in high demand. So where 7 or 8 years ago you could get a bunch of guys to work for you for 10, 12 bucks an hour, now you're paying 20, 30 bucks an hour. You know, like I tell everybody wants to get paid. You know what I mean? That guy that's doing the hammering, putting the nails in on that building, he doesn't care that the $30 an hour he wants to hammer those nails in is raising the cost of housing. He's got a family, he's got a woman, he's got kids, he's got bills to pay. He is like, hey, pay me.
That's right.
Or I will go to the housing project that will pay me. You know, and we've got a West Coast shortage on trade jobs when it comes to plumbing, electrical, carpentry, and the apprentices that follow in those guys. You know, so we got a shortage at journeyman level and a definite shortage at the apprentice level. So, you know, and then the other thing that's hit us this year, like I predicted last year, is the materials to build housing has gone up quite a bit. And some items have gone up only 2 or 3%. You know how it goes. Some items have gone up 100%. And then, you know, so I say the average is probably 10 or 15% is what we've seen, just because we had so much go on last year. We had the fires, especially in Montana and stuff, that burned so much timber. Then we had, 2 major hurricanes and about 15 or 20 tornadoes. I mean, we had some of the worst tornado damage last year in the Midwest we've ever seen. So, you know, the rebuilding process, along with the demand nationwide for building new housing, and then Chloe comes to Portland. You know, I try not to say a whole lot about Chloe because I don't want people to think it's sour grapes. But then again,
City Council.
But then again, I want people to understand that a lot of this stuff that's coming to fruition in the year 2019, 2020, my friends that have families that are going to need housing to live in, as far as rental housing, single-family housing, townhouses, I hope your income goes up quite a bit over the next 12 months, because we're not building that many houses right now. We're not building any rental single-family housing in the Portland market. No single-family housing is being built for rentals. We've got a housing shortage that's getting worse, and those of you who are in fixed incomes, you know, you're not making, city commissioner money, Those of you who are retired and on fixed incomes, and those of you who need 3 and 4 bedrooms, homes to live in for your families, for your wife, your husband, your kids, you're gonna find it very difficult when you look for new housing next year. It's gonna be twice as hard as it is this year.
Wow.
And it's sad. It could have been avoided. Right now, there's nothing the city council can do other than, I don't know what they can do. There's nothing they can do to stop it, at all. It's going to be bad. And, it didn't have to be this way. But the real estate owners of Portland, you're going to have a great year. If you own real estate already, especially rental properties, this is going to be the exact opposite of 10 years ago. So if you've been in the real estate game, rental game for a long time, 10 years or more, 2018, toward the end of the year, 2019, it's going to be shock and awe good for you. But our friends that rent, especially like I said, our friends that are on fixed incomes, it's going to hurt.
Tough deal. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So housing, as you can see, housing is going to be one of our major issues, as Fred indicated, and naturally we're right into the election here. So consequently, that's going to be a main situation as far as what the voters should be looking for in the electorate. People
Well, they're going to need people. They're going to need people who have skills. Not so much in real estate. I mean, having skills in real estate, it would be incredibly great. Yeah. But you got to look for people who got great judgment.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm talking about? They're in careers, or they've done gone through academia at a level where they've got great judgment skills, because there's a lot of pressure that's put on everybody in all these positions, not just city commissioner, county commissioner, state rep, and right now, poor people in Portland, poor people in Oregon, but especially Portland, they don't really have anybody who I feel has the. There's nobody right now in office right now that has the ability to protect poor people in everywhere they need to be protected.
So i.e. the G word, if you will, gentrification, is that real or not?
It's real, and it's coming to more places in Portland.
Okay.
Because, like I said, the problem we have is we got a lot of people moving to Portland.
Yeah.
And everybody wants their own home. They want their own kitchen. They want their own bathroom. They want their own master bedroom. I'm sorry, they want their own place. You understand? Their own storage place to store their stuff. And the thing is, there's just not enough housing. So what's happening now, like right now, between 300,000 and 400,000, all those homes are going. And I'm looking at $300,000 and $400,000 homes right now that 10 years ago I was selling for $175. Wow. Matter of fact, not even 10 years ago, 2012, I was selling for $175, and now they're $300,000 to $400,000, and they're not always the best. But the point is, the monthly payments average between $2,000 and $2,500 a month, and a lot of these houses, which we rented them, they'd rent between $2,000 and $3,000 a month. You see what I mean? So what happens? What I'm worried about is, like right now, we've got about 80 homes on the market between $300,000 and $400,000 in the Portland market. About 80 homes. Now think about it. There's about 8, and people can go on Zillow and rent it themselves. Okay. For a market the size of Portland, we got, you should always have at least 300 or 400 homes in that price range. Okay. You know what I mean? But I think in the 3-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot range, I think we only got about 80 homes or less.
Now, you're sharing this information with us, but at the same time, now again, like we got an election going on. You know what I mean? What's your? Have you looked at some of the possibilities that are out there? The folks who are thinking about running for office.
Well, there's nobody that's running for. There's nobody running for city council
that has any background in housing or anything.
Well, no, you got Stuart Edmonds. He's an architect. Stuart's a nice guy. Yeah. But Stuart has absolutely no concept of cost. I love every design Stuart produces. Yeah, right. I love them. They're built for Beverly Hills. There's no way they can be developed, and then you're going to turn around and say, "Hey, you can live here for $700 a month." No, I mean, Stuart cracks me up. The most expensive. They're beautiful designs. Yeah. I mean, they are. Okay. They're beautiful designs. Yeah,
but what about the homeless? I mean, are they you're going to have these so-called A-frames in the back of homes or something like that? I mean, that was proposed by the county. The county commissioners.
Yeah, that's
$75,000 a pop.
That's not going to work in most of the neighborhoods in inner southeast, inner northeast, like that Portland. It could work in some areas that are unincorporated, Multnomah County. Could work maybe out in Gresham and stuff like that in some areas. So, we're not going to see too many A-frames pop up in Portland. I think that's funny. Here we need more housing. Higher density, and they bring in an A-frames. That shows you about judgment. You know what I mean? That shows you about judgment. That's like a guy on Valentine's Day or his anniversary deciding to get a gift for his wife and deciding to buy, hey, she likes to unscrew things. I'm going to get a power screwdriver. That way we both can work on it.
The funny thing about those A-frames that they were talking about at $75,000 a pop, that was a year ago when that was presented by several of the commissioners. One of the commissioners, I think it was District 3 or 4, something like that.
Yeah.
But guess what? I'm still waiting. Where are they?
Well, the problem is you got zoning issues, and then to prepare the land, at $75,000 a pop, just to prepare the land, you're going to throw in another 50 to 60 grand, and that's on top of, we haven't gotten to the permits yet.
Yeah.
You understand? So then, it's like I said, the A-frame idea, I can see it working in some areas of, rural Multnomah County, but in Portland, it's not going to.
Yeah, but a lot of folks are saying, not in my backyard. I mean,
well, there's going to be some of that too.
A bunch of drawing this, that, and the other. So and then we got the Wapato that's still sitting around. We're still sitting around.
Well, I keep telling you, Wapato.
Something I'm very interested in.
Wapato is complicated, Bruce, because I keep telling you, Deborah is worried about Wapato becoming the state hospital.
The state hospital.
I mean, what are you going to do once you put all these mental people who are on our streets in Wapato? Okay, that have mental issues. They need medicine. They need, people watching them.
Good.
You understand? They need professionals, nurses, doctors.
Yes.
Okay.
Good,
okay.
good.
So when do you kick them out in the street?
Kick them out in the street.
Well, no. What I'm trying to say is once they get there, they're there.
That's right. That's right.
So eventually, Wapato would turn into.
Remember now, we had damage at one point.
I understand.
Remember now.
And I bet Deborah would love to have a damage. Well, the problem is, the county doesn't have the budget.
Excuse me, you're getting in our campaign.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I love the idea of helping the homeless go to Wapato.
Yeah.
It is a brilliant idea.
Good idea.
But it's an idea that has to come from the state level.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you something else. We would need our federal congressional people like Blumenauer, people like Wyden, to be all over.
Oh, they got to be.
They got to say, Wyden's got to come in and say, hey, guys, we need a state hospital in Multnomah County, and we want you to put it at Wapato.
Right.
And I'd name it after him. You know what? If Wyden did that,
you name it after him?
I'd say change the name of Wapato and call it the State Mental Health Center, Ron Wyden State Mental Health Center. If Ron Wyden did that, if he came out with the same passion he used to 40 years ago, you remember the Grey Panthers?
Oh, I remember that one.
Okay? Ron Wyden should come out and say, I'm going to help Deborah Kafoury pay for a state hospital in Multnomah County so we can get mental health people the services they need and get them off our street.
Good. Okay, that's another major area aspect of it.
That would bring jobs.
What about public safety?
About 500
what about public safety? You think that's going to be an issue?
Public safety?
As far as the city races?
Not right now. Not right now, but I think next year it will.
Okay.
I think next year
What
will.
about the races and as far as the number of people that are running for those? As you got two major offices there. You got 2 city council seats.
Yeah.
One with Fish, right?
Yep.
And then you got the other with Salzman, right?
Yep.
And you got a number of people on the other end of it. And there's this minority entity with with Joanne Bowman and Loretta Smith, who's now vacating the seat, if you will, from the county, right? You got me? They say that's going to be an interesting race, very interesting race. And you got Stu Edmond. He basically has the dollars, on the development end of it. And then there's some
in city council races, dollars help.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice to have good dollars.
Right.
But we've had a lot of guys get a lot of dollars and get a lot of losses.
That's right.
So now, I got a lot of faith in the people of Portland. People of Portland always pick.
Okay, look like we got
the good people.
I tell you what, we're going to do. We're going to shift now, and we're going to spend some time with this whole issue about campaign finance in the county. At one point in time, a guy named Dan Meek, if you will, got involved and basically capped.
Meek or Meek?
Meek.
Dan Meek.
Yeah, he basically capped. He basically went in and basically got this through, and so that was sort of in place. And anyway, there's some answers there that we need to deal with. So we've got him on the phone now. We'll have him spend some time with us and share with us basically what it is and then where we are today. Okay, Dan, are you on the line?
I'm here, Bruce.
Okay. Hey, put the volume up here, will you? Put the volume up in the studio here. Okay, Dan, speak up a little, Dan. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
How about a little louder, guys? Just a little bit more. That'll help Fred out. He's a little older than I am. Okay, good. Okay, Dan?
Yes.
Okay, Dan, you're on, buddy. Do us a favor. Why don't you just kind of bring us up, sort of define why you did what you did, and then at the same time, then go into where are we today, okay?
And the subject matter is what?
Subject matter is campaign cap on the county, the $500 cap thing.
Right. Well, in 2016, a group of folks got together and persuaded the Multnomah County Charter Review Committee to place on the ballot a measure to limit campaign contributions in races for Multnomah County office.
Okay.
That would be Multnomah County Commissioners, Sheriff, District Attorney, and Auditor. And the measure would limit contributions to individuals only, and would ban individual contributions of greater than $500. These are limits that are quite common elsewhere in the country. 45 other states have limits on campaign contributions, and many cities within those states have even lower limits on campaign contributions. So the voters of Multnomah County approved that measure by a 89% yes vote, and went into effect on September 1st of last year.
Okay.
And so far, all of the candidates who are running for Multnomah County office are complying with the limits. Okay. We have folks who check their Orstar accounts, that is their campaign finance report accounts, every day to see whether any contributions are coming in that exceed the limits. The other feature of the measure says that if for any reason a candidate or independent expenditure is being made in amounts, if the candidate is receiving contributions of more than $500, or anyone spends more than $500 on an independent expenditure, then the advertisement funded by those amounts have to identify the source of the funds. 10 states already have laws like this, and it often makes a big difference. The voters of Richmond, California, in 2014, when Chevron Corporation was trying to take over the city council by running folks for every seat on the city council plus mayor and financing them to the tune of $3 million in a city of only 100,000 people, California law required that all of their ads say somewhere on it that it was paid for by Chevron. And as a result, all of their candidates overwhelmingly lost, even though they outspent their opponents by about 50 to 1. So that's what the measure was. Now, just 3 days ago, the Multnomah County Circuit Court Judge Block decided that all of it is unconstitutional. So under the Oregon Constitution, which is really quite amazing when you consider that no court in Oregon has ever held that a required disclosure of where funds are coming from is unconstitutional in any way. So it's a very shocking decision, but no big deal. It's just the decision of one circuit court judge, and we will immediately appeal it to the Court of Appeals and ask the Court of Appeals to immediately certify the case to the Oregon Supreme Court, so we don't have to go through the process, which often takes 2 years, of getting a decision out of the Court of Appeals. In the meantime, this large coalition of folks, including the Progressive Party and the Green Party and Sierra Club and the NAACP and a variety, and Teamsters and a variety of others, are moving on to enact the same limits for City of Portland races, including the City Council, City Auditor, etc. That measure, we just got a ballot title for it, Portland City Charter Amendment, and we're now collecting signatures for that. To get involved, anyone can go to honest-elections.com.
Okay.
honest-elections.com. Get involved, collect signatures. We need 34,000 signatures by the first week of July, and then that will be on the ballot in November of this year.
Okay.
And we would expect, this time we're going for 90%. 89% was not good enough, so this time we're going for a 90% yes vote.
Okay. So Dan, tell me this: what about the present commissioners on the Kafoury and the other commissioners? How did they react, if you will, to this issue?
Some of them expressed in the campaign. Some of them expressed support for the measure. Deborah Kafoury did express support for it.
She did, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Once it was adopted, as I say, all the candidates are complying with it. The Multnomah County Commission attempted to send this to the courts without taking a position on its constitutionality, but the voters objected to that, and so the county commission has been fully defending the constitutionality of the measure, which is good. And we've noticed in the campaign finance filings that on a couple of occasions, a candidate has received a contribution which violates the measure, but in every case, within a day or so, that candidate has returned the contribution.
Okay.
So that it is not, so they don't end up accepting that contribution. So, on the other hand, the city of Portland really needs this. The city of Portland races for mayor and city council are becoming extremely expensive. As you may recall that Charlie Hale spent $1.5 million on his campaign for mayor. Ted Wheeler spent over $1 million in the primary in his campaign for mayor, for their campaigns, and city council races themselves, not for mayor, but for council positions, are now often costing $500,000. And the money comes from, the special interests. I think Fred has been mentioning some of those special interests, especially the Portland Metropolitan Association of Realtors is a large contributor to city council races, and they typically give contributions on the order of $5,000 to $10,000 or more. Also, many developers and financiers are involved in making large contributions. For example, to the Loretta Smith campaign, there are $5,000 contributions from Joshua Carden, Kenneth Starr, Robert Quillen, Portland Metropolitan Association of Realtors, the Leader Capital Group, Comcast, The Standard, which is Standard Insurance Company, Pacific Mark Construction, O'Neill Construction, Nike, Family Care Inc., and a variety of other commercial entities. All of those contributions would be illegal if it were a race for Multnomah County Commissioner, but it's currently legal in a race for Portland City Council.
Wow. Okay. So right now, as you say, the as far as anybody running for office, is that law? Do we have to deal with the law, if you will, or can they do whatever they wanted to do?
The Multnomah County candidates for the Multnomah County office can probably do whatever they want to do at this point. The court hasn't issued any injunction, so technically the law is in effect. But I think anyone who takes a bigger contribution is probably not taking a great risk of being prosecuted.
Okay. Any other points? Any other points you might want to make?
No, he's right. One thing, that makes one of the reasons why our city commission is not as effective as we've had in the past. Like I've told people, the last 9 years, we've had the worst city council probably going back 100 years or more. Okay. They're just not good. And the reason they're not good is there's a very limited scope of skills in there. And then on top of that, they don't get along because everybody is trying to, appeal to the developers and everybody else, even Chloe. They're trying to appeal to the developers so they can, stay in office and everything. What I want people to understand is what Dan's talking about. If there was a change in the way city council races were funded, where a lot of the special interests and the extremely rich people who live inside and outside of Portland who have interests to protect, you would see more people join. We would see eventually a better city council, because I feel, like I've told you guys, there's a lot of great people in our community. They got a lot of great skills, a lot of great history, a lot of good decision making. We hear them, we know them, they're our friends, they're our family members. They don't run because it's so expensive to run. Not just expensive in money, but in time resources to collect the money in order to run. So if what Dan's talking about came to city council, I think eventually we'd see a much better city council, a city council like the old days, like a lot of people who've grown up here, a city commissioners of that quality. Right now, I won't mention which one, there's only one city person sitting on city council, only one that deserves to be there. The other ones don't deserve to be there, period.
And Bruce, one thing I would point out is that during our Multnomah County measure campaign, Chloe Udaly was a strong supporter of our measure.
Okay.
We have asked the Portland City Council to refer our measure to voters so that we wouldn't have to go out and collect approximately 50,000 actual signatures. But the Portland City Council has not done that, and
including Chloe.
So that's why we're going to. Pardon me.
Including Chloe.
Well, there hasn't been any formal vote. We just can't get them to.
I got you.
To put it on the agenda at all.
In other words, Chloe is not even put. Even Chloe is not putting it on.
That's what I'm saying.
On the agenda. She supported it, but how far will she support it?
Yeah, I don't know whether one commissioner can put things on the agenda. Do you know that? Is that the way it works, Fred?
She can put it on the agenda. I mean, she needs a second, like any parliamentary thing. But the point is, if she really wanted to make it an issue, even if she didn't have a third vote,
she can talk about it.
She could get somebody to be the second.
Yeah. She can talk about it. We will ask her. How about that, Dan?
Yeah, ask her.
We'll ask her.
Hey, get a commitment that she'll put it on there.
Yeah, we'll make a point to do that piece. Okay.
Yeah, make a commitment to put that on there.
Okay. Any other thing, buddy? Once you announce the fact, how does one access that and get in that petition deal? Is there a phone number or something? You gave an address.
Yeah, the honest-elections.com.
Okay, good.
And as far as a phone number goes, I would give you 503 232 5495.
Okay, fine.
Dan, and that's David Delk, whom you know well, I'm sure.
Right, exactly. Dan, thank you very, very much, buddy.
Yeah, thank you, Dan.
In fact, Seth's going to be here next week. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. Okay. Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, good.
Bruce, one last thing, friends. This is a very good idea for our city, and I hope you pay attention to it.
Yeah, good. Sounds great. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to bring in I think we may have a candidate in the house. In the county, we're going to shout out for Sharon. Oh, there she is. There it is, right there, Maxwell. We'll be right back.
You are watching Oregon Voters Digest. This program can be seen again on these channels on these dates and times. Tell a friend.
All right, folks, we're back. Again, I'm Bruce Broussard, your host, and I've got Fred Stewart here, sitting right here. And again, like I said, he's going to be joining me in this whole issue of dealing with the leaders and dealing with the campaigns and making sure that the issues are being talked about and making sure we get the best people for the right folks. Am I right?
That is correct.
Well, there she goes. She's already talking already. How about we got Deborah here, Bora Harris.
Yes.
She happens to be one of the candidates running for county chair. And the present chair is Deborah Kafoury. She's there now at this point in time, but we got her in the house, and then and again, like I said, we're opening it up to all the candidates, So you just show up or give me a call, and we're going to stick you up in and give you some time. We're going to give you time on an ongoing basis throughout the campaign, as far as I'm concerned. So what we're going to do, we got two candidates in the house at this point in time. We're going to give Deborah here about 10 minutes or so, and just kind of, just on the front side, let the folks know who you are, and where you are and how to go get in touch with you, to campaign with you, or whatever you want to say. And all due respect, and if you can cite specifically maybe 1 or 2 items that you feel is really your base of your campaign. Okay, that sounds good?
Thank you.
All right, Bora.
Thank you very much, Bruce. As Bruce stated, I am Bora Harris. I was raised in Arkansas. I've been in Portland in the Multnomah County for over 25 years. One of my reasons for running for chair of Multnomah County is that when we see there is a need for change, we sometimes have to step out into the waters and create those changes. Some of the things that I recognize, in which we all have as issues, are the affordable housing, the homeless crisis situation, the elderly. You know, what happens when they retire and they are older, and their quality of life. Some of those things are. And I also look at the equity and inclusion and disparity side of it. And those are some of the things. Of course, we recognize that those are issues, and we recognize that those have been issues all the time. But my purpose for running in this race is to find solutions. It's okay to have issues and talk about them. We've talked about issues for years and years and years, but now it's time to find solutions. How do we find solutions? I don't have all of them. No one does. So what my goal is to go out in the communities and the places and the spaces. Well, first of all, as we all recognize, Multnomah County is a shining county. But the problem is that there are so many places and spaces where that glitter of the county does not glow. So this is what we need to make happen. One of the ways to make that happen is to have an independent audit. I know we're saying we got these funds, we have federal funds, we subsidize with this, and that's great. And the county does have an independent audit done. It has an independent auditor. And that firm has been connected with Multnomah County for at least 12 years. So I'm going to use this term, but please do not take it out of context. When you are connected with someone, or if someone has been a part of your life for at least 10 years or 5 to 10 years, you're going to say this is family. So I look at that independent audit firm that we have right now as part of the family, not saying that they're related to anyone, so we're not going to take that out of context. So sometimes when that happens, if you've been connected for 12 years with an organization, then it is time to assess, are we seeing things through the same lens or through a different lens? I attended the board meeting on Thursday of last week, and it was wonderful to hear when the auditors said, everything was to make it short, it was a perfect bill of health. Everything was good. Everything was good. So if we're repetitively seeing that the auditors are saying everything is good, then why aren't we seeing the results throughout the county? Why don't we see that glitter and the glow in the lower areas of Southeast? Why don't we see it in the Northeast areas? Why don't we see it in the home where the homeless are, sleeping on the streets? Why don't we see it with those mothers who are working 2 and 3 jobs to make ends meet, and then the rents go sky high, and what they are getting from those 3 jobs cannot afford the rent that they have. So what's the problem? So that's part of my role, is finding solutions. Another concern I have is the ethics. How ethical is our leaders? How ethical are our leaders, the government? Well, specifically, I'm going to refer to the current chair, Deborah Kafoury. There were some instances where she acknowledged that, yes, there are issues going on with the county, and she noted in one of the newspapers, and I can cite it if someone wants to know at the end of, you'll have my number and email where you can call me and say, where was that cited at? Where she says, well, hold me accountable. And that was lovely, very lovely. But yet, a month later, the same leader, Deborah Kafoury, is calling a woman a B. Now that word is not part of my vocabulary, but it's the first letter is a B and the other is 4 of the letters.
ITCH.
Deborah?
Yes.
I know Letterer Smith. She's a friend of mine. She is a bitch sometimes. She is.
Okay, well, this is my part.
I know, but like what she did to Baruti.
Please, this is my part.
Let her make her.
This is my part.
All right.
Okay, I respect you so much,
I know,
and I appreciate you so much. But I'd like to, if it's possible,
I'll shut up.
opportunity.
I'll shut up.
No. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you coming.
But you're making your statement right now.
But
I want
this
you
is
to get your piece in first.
each person has their own perspectives. So what I'm delivering today,
just a little quick.
it's my perspective.
Right. Okay.
And I respect everybody else's.
Right.
No, I respect yours too.
Okay, thank you so much. I only have a little time. I only have a little time, so you can elaborate on that once I complete. Okay?
This is her time right now. Just for now.
You're right.
What I'm going to do right now. Remember Maxine Waters? Reclaim my time. Reclaim my time. Reclaim my time.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Okay. Good. Well, hey, I want to thank you very much. Like I said, you're going to be coming here over and over.
Yes.
This is just a start. Gives you an opportunity.
Yes.
And we're doing this purposely because, in all due respect, as you note, it's very expensive trying to run for office. And I want to respect you from the standpoint, you came in at the last minute. I really appreciate the fact.
I call it my faith run.
I think it's an awesome opportunity. I might add also too, she ran for mayor the last time around.
Yes.
And so she really got some more experience. So she's got some very good experience and some good exposure, and we're going to really have a good race.
So you don't win, you don't lose. It's win and learn. So when you learn, that means that you won.
Very much.
Jeff, I'm glad you're running too.
That's a good point.
I'm glad you're running too.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
We're going to take a short break.
Thank you so much.
Yep,
We're going to take a short break. We're just going on the break. We'll just change the chairs. Let's go.
All right.
Thank
you, Bruce.
All right, dear. Thank you very much. Okay, as you can see, now we got Sharon Maxwell. Sharon has been in this town for quite some time. She's a small business person.
How you doing, Sharon?
Doing great.
And I happen to know her. She kind of like falls in the same category that I do in the construction trades and business and that. But the bottom line, this is Sharon.
Hi,
How you
Bruce.
doing, Sharon? And she also ran for city council.
That's right.
She ran
We got
for
over
city council.
20,000 votes.
She was out there. She's a campaigner now. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can't talk about me. I'm emceeing right now.
Yes, sir.
Fred's gonna interview me later or something another day.
Okay.
But this is your time.
Yep,
Yeah.
time.
So
Yeah.
let's give her some time right now. Okay, talk to
So this is Women's Month. Thank
Yes.
you for inviting myself and Miss Deborah here. Just want to say that I'm native to Portland. I'm a businesswoman, a mother, a grandmother. I know what the issues are right now in District 2. Too many houseless and homeless people. That's unacceptable. I am going to be that champion and that advocate that's going to address at the root why the county has allowed this to even happen. They collect the taxes. They know who's in the properties. Why didn't the county be more proactive to stop the folks from losing their homes, being pushed out into the streets, knowing that they have all of the historical information, the feasibility studies? So as County Commissioner for District 2, I'm going to be out in the district, Fred. I'm going to be connecting with the business owners, with families. That's my track record. I bring results to the table as a contractor, as a nonprofit owner. In 2000, I started my own nonprofit, House of Shalom, to provide temporary 30, 60, 90-day housing for people that were being excluded, disabled homeless people, families that were homeless as well, and a youth program that helped to make sure that our young people were graduating from high school, teaching them to connect their education to their career future. In District 2, we have too many of our young people way too disconnected. And so as County Commissioner, I'm going to be an advocate for them and their families. We need a quality of life for everyone, not just for everyone who sees what's going on in Portland, Oregon, but for the people who were already here. Those dollars that came in from the federal government were for those people. And so the County Commission should be focused on drilling down to the systemic issues that we had, that Deborah cited, that we know already have been here for years, really. And so as County Commissioner, I just want to make sure that people have a quality of life.
Okay. I might add also too that both of these ladies, Deborah and her, are moms.
That's right. That's right.
And they've got kids.
That's right.
Some of them are grown up.
That's,
you know what I mean?
yes.
But the fact of the matter is, they're out there, they're working, and they've got
grandmothers
kids.
yet? Any grandmothers?
I'm a grandmother. Yeah. So a mom and a grandmother, and three girls, one boy, 3 girls, one boy. Yeah. And so the thing that really has brought me to running again is because I still have not seen these issues addressed at the core root. When I ran in 2014 for city council, you know, I called out the intellectual dishonesty on the city's part. Now I'm calling out the intellectual dishonesty on the county's part because the funds have been misdirected. The 3 areas that I'm going to focus on as county commissioner are the top 3. That's going to be the mental health piece, the public safety, where the dollars have been focused on the back end of intervention. We need to change the model to focus on prevention. We want to see more people being successful. And then the third one is public health. If we addressed everything up front, we would see more people having a quality of life. No one wakes up in the morning saying they want to be on a breakdown, psychotic, or induced by drugs or any of that. People want to have a quality of life. And that is the county's full mission, is human services. And right now they're failing the people.
Well, you know, one of the things I wanted to do is real quick, like, is that there are 2 other candidates. Well, actually, there are 3. I mean, actually, it's 4 of us.
That's right.
One also too, but then it always talks about the diversity of the panel.
Yes.
But I'm still interested in the fact that because I'm very familiar with that area aspect of it, is that, like you said, it has to be about the issues. Like Deborah said, it has to be, and the bottom line is that we're looking for the leadership that has the type of resume that can respond to the solutions of those issues. That's right. And hopefully we're definitely going to dig in to make sure that that all of the candidates basically have that pre-qualification.
Well, I'm qualified as a candidate. I've been running my construction company for the last 16 years. I've been in construction for the last 25 years. I've ran for-profit and non-profit. I bring a whole network of businesses, community stakeholders. I am a convener, Fred. I recognize that it's not just about me, and it's not because I'm a black woman that I'm going to focus on just black people or people of color. It's everybody in District 2. I think that's a misnomer that we see in Multnomah County and in the city of Portland, where we are a small percentage, but we are the most desperate impacted by the root causes here. And so when we do throw our shoe or our hat into the ring, people see us only as one-sided. I want to let the people of District 2 know that as your county commissioner, I am concerned about all people. I recognize that it takes a village for every one of us. All families matter to me, and right now I want people to really recognize that we need someone who knows the people from District 2, from North Portland and St. John's all the way out to East Portland to 181st, from the Columbia River down to Burnside. I was born here, I was raised here, I raised my own family here. I'm well connected, and I want to make sure that we're able to work together, bring in all of the different stakeholders, and make sure everybody is getting their needs met. But I want to call out to each and every one, because people have not been able to seize on their potential, which converts to their purpose. And that's what I'll be doing as county commissioner.
Okay. That sounds good. Like I said, we're going to continue to do this because, in all due respect, as you can see, we're going to have quite an excitement, if you will, talking to the issues and really addressing those issues. And Fred and I Fred's going to be there too, aspect of it. And we're going to look at these other 2 candidates. Right. Because as you know, we've definitely been there.
Neither one of them have ever run for office. They don't have a track record. No one knows them, but we're both known. You and I, Bruce, you've run at least 20 times,
50
right?
times. 50 times.
But there's
at least 50.
There's wisdom there. See?
Exactly.
There's wisdom. That's the key about that whole piece, because
and I appreciate that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So my point is that you're right. I appreciate the fact that, like you said, you ran and you learned something as you.
Yes,
as you
I
ran
have.
That deal.
Yes,
and
I have.
Because of the kind of monetary situation that you normally have to face with when you run for office, that's why we're doing what I'm doing.
Yes.
That's why I'm part of the process.
Yes.
Because I know how hard it is, and I know why it's so important, if you will, to have the background necessary to respond to the issues that are out there that we're facing with.
I like the fact that you talked about the campaign finance, because that also addresses, especially for grassroots candidates as ourselves, that where we don't get those big checks written, but for the ones who do, it puts us all at a disadvantage. So to get smaller contributions works a lot better for everyday working people, and that's who I'll be the commissioner strong advocate for, is everyday working families who are struggling right now in District 2 to even stay there.
Right. And again, that same point, like you said, about this contribution, this whole deal about the cap deal, I support that quite well, because the name of the game is this: the people spoke.
That's right.
89% of the people said, "Hey, look here, we've got to dig into this business about who's actually electing our leadership."
That's right.
That's a very important piece.
That's right.
Okay, with that.
So Sharon Maxwell, the number 4 county2.com. That's my website. You can reach me at 971-225-2835. That is my campaign phone number. And my headquarters is located at the Sons of Haiti Lodge at Fremont, Mississippi. We're there on Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 10 to 2. Thank you so much, Bruce.
Hey, buddy. I say that's why you got to be here. That's why
awesome.
You're here. Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
We're going to take a short deal now. Thanks very much, buddy.
All
right.
right.
Talk with Fred a little bit. I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys next week, right?
Thank you.
I'll see you guys next week.
All right.
Okay, good enough. Thanks again, Sharon.
Policies accepted.
Okay. Did you
take it easy.
Did you give us your phone number and this, that, and the other?
No.
Why don't you sit down real quick where I can give it to you? Give us this right. We're on the air. Come on, we're in the air. Come on, right there. Sit down real quick. Yeah, put out your info. How do they reach you? Okay, real quick.
You can reach me at Bora at AOL.com. That's BORAH.
Thanks, Sharon.
BORA at AOL.com. 503-936-8020. D. Bora Harris. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks very much, Dora. Appreciate that very much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Knock on some more doors.
Yes.
Okay, good enough. Okay, good. Well, Fred, what do you think? Let's put this chair on. Okay, we'll just keep it right there.
Yeah,
we'll keep it right there. Okay, good. Well, first off, let's talk about the campaign finance kind of a concept, the capital. I think Dan basically brought out the issue from the standpoint of the rationale.
Dan's 100% right. I mean, I like I said earlier, we don't have enough people. I mean, I talk politics on my Facebook. I talk politics with my clients, and there's so many people on my Facebook I talk to and other places. They've got the reasoning and the passion, they've got the knowledge, they've got everything but the moolah. You know, there's a lot of people in this town.
But we still want big business to participate. That's very
we
important.
want them to participate, because, but we want the people
a lot
first.
of times they create jobs. You got to create jobs. You got to create some jobs.
Correct.
Everybody got to
you know how big business can participate? Okay. They can put together forms and put all the candidates on the, in front.
Right here. At Open Signal.
And they can do. No, what I'm just saying is,
like we're doing it right now.
If some developer wants to really help the process, if the realtors who I've been a member of since 1988 wanted to help the process, put on forms, public forms, and webcast them, and let everybody learn more about everybody who's running for office. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with them saying, well, I'm gonna let you know about everybody, but that one on the right I really like. There's nothing wrong with that. But what I'm trying to say, they want to help. But the thing is, we got to do something to where we can get more people involved in Portland while we got a lot of these changes. Because the reason why the Portland City Council right now is so poor in addressing the issues of the people of Portland, they're not held accountable for basically making decisions that are not based on the values that got them there. You know what I'm talking about? The shared values of the people of Portland. We're no longer a city that's making decisions currently or for the future that are progressive. Mm-hmm. We're not. We're not the progressive city that people moved here for. We're not that city anymore. And if we're going to get that direction, we need more people with progressive thinking running for office. And a lot of these people, they've had careers, they've been going to getting education, experiences, traveling the world, working with the Peace Corps. They've been doing all these things to make them effective contributors to this city. They've not been out developing a fortune or kissing the butts of people who've got fortunes. You know, we need those people to start running for office.
Well, in all due respect, that's why we're doing what we're doing. And that's why we're doing it here at Open Signal, and thank Open Signal for doing such, because we're the only one in town.
Correct.
To do the right debate.
Correct.
Because you can't do anything. You can't do a debate in 3 minutes.
Yeah, we should do some debates.
You can't do the 1 minute deal or the 3 minute deal. I've been through all this process, and that's one of the reasons why I feel that the format that we're going to be holding on here at Oregon Voters Digest is going to be a benefit to the public at large, to the voters at large, and to our way of life. And I think that's a very, very important piece.
Well, I appreciate everybody that's running for office right now, and I think we should do. Well, and I wish you great luck, Bruce. Straight up, I like Sharon, and Deborah is okay, but I'm definitely supporting you. I want you to run.
But like
I want you to win.
But like I said, that's why I have you here. I mean, I realize I'm running, but the fact of the matter is, we still need to interview these folks and talk about the issues.
And I like that you're doing that. You're bringing them on your show. You're letting people know about them. I mean, Sharon's a great person. I've only met Deborah 3 or 4 times. She's always been a great person. Everything I've ever heard about her has always been positive and strong.
I've seen on the campaign trail.
I mean, I've never heard a bad word about her. I mean, I really don't know much about her, but everybody that I know that knows her, they like her a lot. They got a lot of faith in her.
And like I said, we got these other candidates going to be coming on too. Okay, we got a young lady from India, running for county, and we also have a Hispanic lady by the name of Maria, and they've been out on the campaign trail, and so hopefully we'll be able to get some more insight. And when it gets down to me, you'll be interviewing me.
Oh, good.
Very simple. And then we'll interview everybody else, okay? All right. Folks, tune in. Here we go. We got about 30 seconds here at this point in time. Hopefully you like what we're doing. And please tell your neighbors to share with us, to view with us, because when you get your voters pamphlet, this is just an addition. Now you have the opportunity to visually see these individuals and see them express themselves. But we're going to be basically making sure we're going to be talking about specifics. What specifically, what do you bring to the table? It's one thing to talk about it. It's one thing to PR about it, but what have you done specifically, the fact that you can, in fact, respond to the issues that we're talking to that we need, okay? With that, thank you very much. See you next week. Have a good one. Hey folks, I'm Bruce Broussard, and as you might know, I'm running to be your next county commissioner. But I will continue to host our Oregon Voters Digest, and will likely share my views on important issues here. And since this is going to be a very important election year for everyone, I'm opening this platform for other political candidates to share their views too. So, if whether you're also running for Multnomah County Commissioner, or if you are going to be on the ballot in any other position in our viewing area, you are welcome to come on this show and tell us what you are all about. This is an open invitation to anyone running for any office in the Portland area. We broadcast our show live every Sunday afternoon here in Northeast Portland, and would love to share the stage with you. If you're interested, send us an email at ovdguests@gmail.com. The email should be displayed on your screen now. So, come on down, write me an email, and tell me who you are, what position you're running for, and maybe a little about yourself. Again, our email is ovdguests@gmail.com. Even if you're not running for office, be sure to stay tuned over the next several months. You're going to want to know how your candidates stand on the issues and how they plan to represent you. Have a great week, folks. Everybody, I love you. Take care.